drug, but I'm on the hunt. I'm gonna wake the one side, stare at the sun, do it for fun. This is the way I live my life. This is the way I live my life. This is the way I live my life. Listen to me now, listen to me now. It's coming down to the two of us. Let me show you how. Listen to me now. It's coming down to the two of us. I'm here to rumble. I'm here to rumble. Get ready for thunder, 'cause I'm here to rumble. I'm here to rumble. I'm here to rumble. Ladies and gents, I won't pretend. I think I forgot my medicine. Think I'm a mess, but I'm making sense. I feel it in my skeleton. I know I'm intense. I'll cut the suspense. I'm here to take down everyone. I'm here to take down everyone. I'm here to rumble. I've got danger in my favor, like a razor. I'm here to rumble. Diamond breaker, it's my nature. Get ready for thunder, 'cause I'm here to rumble. I'm here to rumble. I'm here to rumble. Yeah, I'm here to rumble. I'm here to rumble now. I'm here to rumble. Listen to me now, listen to me now. It's coming down to the two of us. Let me show you how. Listen to me now. It's coming down to the two of us. Listen to me now. Listen to me now. It's coming down to the two of us. Let me show you how. Listen to me now. It's coming down to the two of us. I'm here to rumble. I'm here to rumble. I've got danger in my favor, like a razor. I'm here to rumble. Diamond breaker, it's my nature. Get ready for thunder. I'm here to rumble. I've got danger in my favor, like a razor. I'm here to rumble. Diamond breaker, it's my nature. Get ready for thunder, 'cause I'm here to rumble.
And welcome to Off the Glass, the Oak Ridge High School basketball show. Joining me is the head coach of the Lady Wildcats, Coach Paige Taylor. Coach, good to have you back on the show here. Your girls last week, we had your two seniors, Kamari and Hope, and they did a great job filling in for you. Of course, they didn't say anything negative, of course.
That's good.
Your basketball team, long week last week, we talked about it. I talked with Hope and Kamari last week about you're going to have 4 games,
Right.
and it was a grind.
It was.
Won the district games, which were important, but lost the Saturday ball game. So
Yeah, it was a tough week, and having 3 games the week before on top of that, and you're a little bit off schedule, out of routine, but and we played a tough game on Tuesday night, an emotional game on Thursday playing Clinton, and then you turn around and play Central, and then travel down to Cleveland on a Saturday and play a good Cleveland team. And I felt like we had a good week of basketball. I told the girls after the game, I don't want to lose. I don't take it that way at all. But it wasn't a situation where I felt like we went backwards. I think we had a good week. I think we grew last week, and it was good for us.
before we go any farther, let's go to the other screen here. We're going to have a special guest a little bit later on in this segment, and that is Samaj Clark. She is a junior member of the Oak Ridge Lady Wildcats. Samaj, first off, thanks a lot for joining us here. I'll talk to you here in a few short moments. We're going to, Coach, run some highlights from last week, starting with the Central game. Dylan, if you run those, and that seems like a long time ago.
It does.
A lot of basketball has been played since then. It was a team that you had played actually twice, I guess, now after this game in
Right.
10 days, I believe.
Yes, very
What-
close together.
What do you remember most about this game?
I think we got to play some of our younger girls in this game as well. Central's just down this year, but I thought, and it was our our third game, I believe, of the week. Yeah, third game of the week. And I felt like we could have come out after just having played them and knowing that it wasn't going to be a tough game for us. I think we could have come out a little bit lackadaisical and even lazy, but I don't think we did. I think we played well and used it as an opportunity to get better.
Yeah, it was after the Powell ball game, too, which was, a very emotional
Right.
kind of a ball game. Really, not that this game didn't matter. Every district game matters. It doesn't matter if you're playing Powell or, whoever's in the last place, but they all matter.
Right.
You could have very easily just shown up and just gone through the
Absolutely.
motions.
And that's one of the things I said to my two assistant coaches, at one point in the game. I said, I halfway expected us to kind of come in a little slow, but we didn't. I mean, we came out and we played well.
You've had, and I was looking at the stats yesterday. I was going through them, and you have 3 players right now that are averaging in double figures.
Mm-hmm.
I know you'd rather have 5, but you
Right.
have 3. Kamari's numbers are just phenomenal, almost 28 points in ball game, which is just absolutely crazy. Samaj, who we're going to talk to, she's averaging around 15, and Gracie Heron is around 11, which is pretty balanced scoring right there.
Right, it is, and we knew coming into the season, our matchups with people and with Kamari and Samaj and Hope and Gracie, those 4 were going to carry most of the responsibility offensively, and they've done a great job. I think I've always said this about Samaj. Samaj does not know her own. Her own capabilities, and she could be as good as she wants to be, and you're seeing glimpses of that, and you've seen it in the past couple games. When she turns it on, it's on.
Here's a little some highlights from the Cleveland ball game. A good individual effort by Kamari in the last 3 quarters of the game. It was a struggle to begin. I think you fell behind 15-4 after 1 quarter.
Yes, we did, and I remember when we talked about that, starting out slow down there last year and get behind, but. It's like what I said against Powell. Like, this is a team that proved against Powell that we know how to win, and you saw that in them coming back from starting out so slow. They didn't give up. They didn't toss in the towel. They battled back, and we led, I think, even after the third quarter. But just made some, physically we're tired, made some mistakes defensively, and lost the game. But I like the way we battled back. I like the way we didn't quit, and we played together.
Our special guest, Samaj Clark, had a really big ball game. She really kind of kept you in it with her outside shooting.
She did. She takes some crucial shots sometimes for us, and what I like about Samaj is she's got a really high basketball IQ, and she knows when to take the 3. She knows when to pull up, and she's got very good court vision. She knows she sees the open person. My only complaint about Samaj right now is she's got to finish. She finished in transition right there, but she tends to sometimes not finish as strongly as I want her to.
But she has improved greatly since last year. Even her aggressiveness is a little bit. She wasn't really aggressive at all last year, really.
Yeah, I think she kind of turned it on. I remember last year in Greenville, the Greenville tournament, she turned it on, and that's Samaj has got to understand. Don't wait and let the game come to you. Go get it, and because she's talented. Like I said, she's smart and she understands the game. She's very deceiving offensively and defensively. She's hard to guard. She enjoys posting up every now and then. She knows how to use her body. She crashes the offensive boards. Defensively, she's long, and when she uses her length, she does really well.
It's the last night's game against Halls, and you had beaten Halls pretty soundly the first time, but you and I commented to you after the game last night. This was a really good win for your team. This is a really good Halls team, and I think they could compete for a championship at the tournament.
I think so too. Especially they have the capability to shoot the ball really well. They're going to play hard. They're not afraid. They don't back down, and they're well coached. I told the girls after the game last night, of all the teams in our district, Halls has always been the one that scares me, just because I know how hard they work, and they're never going to give up.
There's Samaj right there. Lauren Hart had a really good game in this one. I think she finished with double figures. But, what you said to me, I agree with you. There's always somebody who has stepped up this year for you,
Right.
off their bench,
Right.
basically. And she did last night.
She did. You know, we've always had that person. I think back to, you know, Desiree Bates and Tarika Dean and Talia did that. Samaj was doing that a little bit last year. Her and Talia kind of switched roles. But you got to have somebody that you've got confidence in to come off the bench, because you start the game out and then you don't want to let up. Somebody, you know, get a little bit tired. You want to bring somebody else in that changes the game a little bit. And Lauren contributed huge last night, and she did. I told her after the game that's exactly what we need her to do and who we need her to be. And she played really well last night.
Nice assist right there to Gracie. She came in, just dished it off. That was an easy two. You know,
Yeah.
Gracie, her percentage, her field goal percentage is very high. So
Yeah.
if she's around there, she's going to usually hit it.
Yeah, I just like for her to hit it a little bit more. I probably expect, you know, Gracie's got a great shot. She does. It's pretty, and it's a good form. She's got great hands. She can catch the ball. I just, you know, she's another one that doesn't realize what she could do inside, especially in our district. In this area, you know, I only think Bearden has a matchup inside, but not very many people have a true matchup for her inside, and she's got to dominate.
Well, let's talk to Samaj here for a few moments. She is a junior member, and just a moment ago when I was talking about you've got 3 players that are in scoring in double figures right now. 2 of them will be returning next year, which is a good thing.
Yes, very good thing.
And Samaj is one of them. Samaj, first off, once again, thank you for coming in. Did you grow up in Oak Ridge?
Yeah, I did.
So you've lived here your entire life, and where'd you play middle school ball?
Jefferson.
Did you come to the high school games when you were?
Not really. So
Not really?
I only came when it was we were getting introduced or something. I didn't really watch that much, to be honest.
Did you have any family members that ever played before in sports here at Oak Ridge?
Yeah, my brother, Caleb Martin, he played basketball and football. So.
Right, I know Caleb pretty well. I've had him on this show, actually, to be honest with you. Let's talk about the season to this point. I'm going to get some comments from Coach Taylor as well about your answers and see how you answer them too. But have you been pleased with the way you've played?
Yeah, I think I've been playing pretty well so far.
What is, looking at the games that you've played in this year, where do you see yourself the most improvement that you've made as a player?
I mean, I've been scoring a lot more, but I think my defense, I've been trying harder than I have been in the past. So I think my defense is better than
Coach?
it was before.
I would agree with that. I still think there's room for improvement.
Yeah.
I think there are times when Samaj gets caught watching some and takes a break, sometimes maybe a little bit tired, and knows she's smart enough to know possessions when she can take a break and who she can take a break against. Sometimes the ball drops right in front of her and she just kind of watches it, you know. That's Samaj taking a break.
Coach, or Samaj, last year I think at the region tournament you had a really fine game, and I guess was it the Maryville game? I guess it was the last game. Mm-hmm. You shot the ball pretty well, and that's when I realized, you know, she can shoot the 3 ball pretty well. And
Yeah.
is that something you work on quite a bit?
I do like to shoot threes a lot, but I feel like I could shoot them more, but I don't know. I like shooting threes though. Yeah.
Is she a good driver? Does she drive well?
She does, and she's got a good handle on the ball, and like I said, like she knows when to hesitate. She's got great moves, great control of her body. Today in practice, she came off of a screen and pulled up and shot a 3, and Coach Trent looked at me and said, "Now, why won't she do that in a game?"
Why won't you do that in a game, Samaj?
I'm not sure. I feel like I always try. I don't know. On offense in practice, I don't know. I just know how, the people who are defending me, I know how they play defense, so I kind of go harder. But I don't know.
You know, you lost a lot of, good seniors off of last year's team. And obviously, you knew your role was going to be different this year. You were going to be not just somebody that, came in or got a start towards the end. You were going to have to be somebody that they counted on. Did Coach Taylor or the coaching staff, did they challenge you before the season, knowing that your role was going to change?
I mean, I feel like they've always challenged me, to do better. But I knew I would have to do more this year than I did in the past. So I just kind of knew.
What did you say differently to them? Because, your daughter Cannon's got a different role. And Samaj for sure has a different role. I
Right.
mean, you expect her to score. Last year, probably she was kind of a role player, but now this year she is one of the main
Right.
people. So
And I think what she said is very accurate. Samaj is a kid that I've always been on wanting more. I constantly tell her, like, I want more. Like, I need you to play. And I do think, coming in, I mean, she knew. I mean, the role, she's going to be a junior, and her role of scoring and leading and even defensively was going to pick up tremendously. Like, that she's going to carry some of that weight. And I think so far she's done well. I think, early on it took her a little while to get started, but the last 2 weeks she's really turned it on.
You were here last year, and I asked you some crazy questions. I have a few crazy questions to ask you before I get back to a serious tone of the show here. Oh, there's Jeremy here. I guess he's going to be on the show again this week. That's 2 weeks in a row. Samaj Clark, where is your go-to restaurant? When you're hungry, where do you want to go?
You don't have there aren't enough restaurants to list.
Right, I like to eat. Let's see.
And eat out.
Probably, like, if we're talking restaurant, I like O'Charlie's and Olive Garden.
Okay, those are some high-dollar ones, too. She goes to the high end. Most of them say Chick-fil-A or something like that.
I do love Chick-fil-A.
Yes, and Panera, and yes, we could keep going.
What has been the worst part for the basketball team about this pandemic? How has it affected the basketball team the worst?
It kind of makes us, like, kind of uncertain sometimes. But I think so far the main thing was during Christmas when, everybody got corona and we couldn't play, like, the bigger teams, like in Knoxville and stuff, that we usually, even in Greenville, like, we usually go out and play other people outside our district. We couldn't do that this year. That was probably the biggest thing.
You kind of answered this earlier, but what things has Coach Taylor wanted you to work on the most in your game?
I think being more aggressive, because I think I could be more aggressive, and I think that's what she wants me to do.
Correct?
That would be correct.
Okay. Samaj, if you won the lottery, what would be the first things that you would buy?
I'd probably buy some clothes, some shoes.
Are you a fashion
really.
person? Do you like to wear nice clothes and such?
Oh, I just like certain things. If something catches my eye, I might get it. Like, if I won the lottery, I don't know what. There's a lot of things. I don't need a lot of things. Probably little things.
What is the best season of the year for you in terms of just fall, winter?
I like the summer.
How come?
Because it's AAU. It's always warm outside. I just like that summer.
Are there any things in your life that scare you? Or do you get scared by anything?
I used to be very scared of, like, animals, just pets in general. But recently, I think I'm more scared of, like, bugs, little things like that.
Do you have any pets at all?
Yeah, my mom got a pet I think about a year ago, and I was terrified of it. But
What, a dog? Or?
a dog, a small little puppy. But
You're terrified of a puppy?
yeah.
Coach, have you ever been terrified of a puppy?
No.
No. What are your favorite sports teams?
My favorite NBA team is Golden State Warriors. My favorite college team, well, for boys, I like Syracuse, and girls, I like the Vols.
Okay. What's been the best part about playing basketball at Oak Ridge High School?
I feel like Oak Ridge in general, we just always play well together. Like, you can always be on a team where there's, like, people here and there that you don't really play well with, but with Oak Ridge, everybody plays well together. So.
Is this particular team, Coach, a family, like all your other teams have been, very close?
We're getting there. This is a different team just because we didn't have our summer together. No practices. And that travel at Christmas, getting to kind of gel a little bit more, and you're going into a different environment. 2 years ago we go to Phoenix. Last year we go to Myrtle Beach. Didn't get to do any of that this year, even
Right.
local. And I think that's hurt them some. But I think missing some during Christmas really, like, we came back and they were eager to be back together. I think that helped a little bit, just, appreciating each other.
I agree with that. That's. I mean, you've said that before, and that's you've always said that the best time for your bonding with your team and them bonding, and the chemistry comes at Christmas time. So, and you just didn't have that. But where do you see that right now?
Well, we talked about that in the last 2 weeks. Of we've got to work on that chemistry offensively and defensively, and off the court. And I feel like they're gelling more and more. This is a team that's there's so much growth to be had. They haven't reached it yet, and hopefully won't reach it until the right time.
Samaj, thinking back at the games you've played in your career, what's your favorite game that you've played in?
My favorite game?
It didn't have to be a game that you played particularly well, but just the excitement of it, the crowd, whatever.
Well, I didn't really play, but freshman year, I always say this, but when it was Oak Ridge versus Maryville, and we had a lot of people in the stands, and Jada hit that shot. I like that game.
That was a pretty special game. That was pretty special. What's your favorite gym to play in besides our arena?
I kind of like, we just played there. Oh, Stone Memorial's gym. I like the Stone Memorial's gym.
You might be surprised here. You know where Coach Taylor likes to coach the most? See if you know this answer to this. Around here, where does she like to go? Do you know?
To go?
Yeah, and coach. You guys.
I'm afraid of that. I don't know.
Maybe Bradley. I don't know.
She likes Campbell County. She likes going to Campbell County. You like playing at Campbell County?
I don't like their gym.
Coach, why do you like?
I love the atmosphere. Just like everybody's against. It seems like everybody's against you, cheering against you, and it's super competitive. And I like playing in those environments.
Which player on the team is most likely to become a coach after or at some point?
I could see Hope coaching.
You agree with
That would be the one that I would say. We got a lot that think they can coach.
They try to coach. Would Samaj make a good coach?
She has a really high basketball IQ. I don't see it in her personality.
Yeah.
But knowledge-wise, yes. But I don't see her personality that being something that she would want to do.
What do you want to do? Do you want to play college sports?
Yeah, I do want to play in college. But like after basketball, I kind of want to do, I'm not sure exactly, but I kind of want to do something in healthcare, like maybe a nurse or something like that.
What will it take for your basketball team to get to the state tournament and win a state championship? Is that a reasonable goal for this team?
I think we can make it to the state tournament. We'll probably have to, on offense, be more like, we have to be more like everyone like shooting, And also our defense, it's gotten better. We've put in a new defense. I think we can make it to the state tournament, yeah.
Samaj, anything you'd like to say before I close out your section of the show? To your family, maybe? Might be watching. You might have friends and family out there.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. That is Samaj Clark. She's a junior member of the Lady Wildcats. Coach, very poised, very, very professional when she comes up here. And that's the way I like you. I'm sure you like to have them on the court, too.
Yes.
Very poised.
Yeah, Samaj's a good kid. She does really well in the classroom. Really smart kid, works hard, and she carries herself well.
One thing she does, I think she represents your program real well.
She does.
I'll see her out in the community. She's always friendly and always is very friendly, which, a lot of times teenage kids are not exactly that way, but that young lady is, so you got to be very proud of her.
Super proud, yeah.
Well, let's talk about the rest of this tomorrow. Let's see, I guess today is Wednesday, so Friday you're going to Anderson County. Tuesday, I think you're going to Powell. So you got two big ball games, one district game on the road, and then a big one on Tuesday. But
Right.
The first one's Anderson County.
Right, we played them, a week and a half ago, maybe. My days and weeks are confused. But, yeah, they're much improved from last year. They're a hungry basketball team. They've played a lot of teams close. I don't think we got near their best game when they came here. I don't think they were ready for us that night. And I think being exposed to our length and our quickness defensively, they'll make some adjustments. But we'll have to be ready to play.
Tuesday night, I'm not going to say it's for the district championship regular season, but It very well could be, because the winner of that game, especially if it's you guys, you'll have a 2-game lead in the tiebreaker round with not a whole lot of games to go. So it's a huge game Tuesday.
It is a huge game, and we've talked about this before. We've flipped it in the past 2 years, and we don't want to do that again. We want to host the district tournament. We want to win host at our place, and it's more than just that, though. I mean, you don't want to. You want to go into Powell and beat them. We allowed them to think that they could play with us the last time, and we had a lead. They come back, had a lead, and come back, and luckily Samaj had the poise and wanted the ball, called for the ball, knowing that she could score. And made her 2 free throws. But and I'm not saying, I'm not just cocky and arrogant saying, they think they can play with us, but. You don't ever want anybody to think they can play with you. You want to control the tempo. You want to control offensively and defensively what you do. And we've got to go there with the mentality of, it's another win for us. We've got to have that mentality.
Let me ask Samaj about those 2 free throws. Obviously, those were 2 of the biggest free throws you've had, with a lot of pressure on you. Were you nervous at all?
No, I wasn't nervous. As soon as I got fouled, I kind of smiled. I just knew that I was going to make them kind of.
And that's one of the advantages of playing a lot of basketball. I mean,
right.
if it was a state tournament, it might be a little pressure back, but she just stepped up there and just drilled them.
Yeah, and I knew. I mean, I heard her call for the ball. When you got somebody wanting the ball in their hands, they're going to make their free throws.
Coach, any final comments for close this out as we get ready for these next 2 ball games?
Just ready to play some more district games. Thankful to be playing. Going to work hard tomorrow in practice and be ready to go on Friday.
The good news is you're going to have some more grandparents at least come into the gym. That's the only restrictions that were lifted.
Well, and I think faculty and staff can come now too. So, hopefully we'll get some people at school coming.
Coach, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate Coach Taylor joining us here along with, Samaj Clark. Coming up next, we'll have the boys segment of the show. Stafford Shanklin's going to join us here, and I think we have a couple new co-hosts are going to join me as well. It looks like Jeremy and Jonathan are going to be on the set with me, it looks like. So we'll be back with them in a moment.
Everything we do is in search of more go. If it can withstand 0 degrees, can it go -20? If it can run through 5 inches of water per hour, can it go to 6? We go. So it goes. So you can go. It's hard to stop a train.
Fox Insurance Group is a local agency. We've got a great staff. We're knowledgeable. The most rewarding thing about working in insurance is taking care of customers. When they come in, a lot of times they don't know what coverages they need. They're relying on us to give them the right coverage that's going to fit their needs, but also at a competitive price. Anybody can go to any agent or they can call any 1-800 number. But getting that right agent that's going to take care of them and be there in time of need, and that's what we're here to do.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. But forward can sometimes look a little backwards. Or like circles. Or like nothing at all. But we never stop. We never stop. Because life never stops. It's hard to stop a train.
Life is made of moments. Moments to share. Moments that are special. And those that are everyday. How do we meet these moments for over 2 million people across 23 counties in East Tennessee? We will meet them not as just a group of hospitals, but as one community of care. Because this is about you, and it's about time. Covenant Health. For every moment.
Train. Extreme conditions testing. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. Train, the most reliable heating and cooling.
And welcome back to Off the Glass, the Oak Ridge High School basketball show. Coach Green could not be with us. His son Cutler is playing basketball, and his team is, I guess, either practicing or playing right now. So we got the next best thing. We got Jeremy Miller here, and then we have Stafford Shanklin over there as well, both senior members of the Oak Ridge Wildcats. There's Stafford there on the left, and Jeremy, seems like just like last week you were here.
Yep. Glad to be back. It's a good time.
So, obviously Coach Green has a lot of faith in you because you're co-hosting the show with me. You know what that entails, don't you?
I don't know.
That means ragging on your teammates when they miss shots on the highlights and such. Will that be good in practice?
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Well, let's roll some of the highlights, starting with it. Stafford, we're going to come to talk to you. Don't think we're going to forget you.
Yes, sir.
But Dylan, if you'll roll the highlights, you didn't have as busy a week as the girls did last week. They played 4 games. You played 3. And I think this is the start, the Central ball game. This is a Central team that very athletic, very long. What kind of problems did they pose you guys when you play them?
I think the biggest problem that they their offensive rebounding. They're really good offensive rebounders. They're all long and athletic, and to be honest, they just go hard, like 4 rebounds. So that definitely made a big problem, and that was something that we knew we had to focus on going into the game.
Yeah, I want to point something out. I've been meaning to do this. You know that Jonathan Milloway has as many has as many 3-point shots as you do.
Yeah, my dad told me you said that on the radio.
Yeah, I've been meaning to say that. I wanted to say that to you on the show last week, but he hits one there a minute ago. I think you both have 21 or 22 in your career. I thought when you were first coming up that you were going to be a shooter, because I think the first shot I saw you ever take in a varsity game was at Campbell County, and you hit a 3.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, that kid can shoot.
Yeah,
And not that you can't shoot.
Yeah.
Stafford, can Jeremy shoot the 3? I mean, you have more 3s than he does. And that's what do you have to say about that?
I just think my strong suit's driving and kind of finishing like that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. What do you think your strong suit is?
Yeah, I just kind of stick to it. That was the lucky one, I would say.
You hurt your ankle in the Clinton ball game. How is it now?
I'd say I'm like 95, 96%. Playing on it still feels fine. It gives me problems every now and then, but really just kind of jumping off of it. I'm not getting up as high as I used to be able to before I hurt it, but it's getting better and better each day. So
you played Central twice. You played everybody in the district at least once. I don't want you to say anything bad about any team, but what are the teams, in your opinion, will be the top teams that in the district tournament to compete for the championship?
Clinton's not a bad team. They always put up a fight. They don't like to lose, so they always try to do what they do just to get it done. So I put them, and then probably Central. I think they're good. We always battle with them for a little while.
Jonathan said something to me kind of funny last week. Not funny, but interesting. He said Anderson County, and that kind of struck me as, I know you've got a good friend on Anderson County's team, but not that they're a bad team, they're a good team.
Right.
But that kind of, so I guess he has his opinion. Stafford, what do you think of the top teams that we've played in our district?
I would agree with Jeremy. I think Central's a good team. Central gave us problems. And what was the other one you said? Clinton?
Yeah, Clinton.
Yeah, I would say Clinton also.
Here's Big Nick. I think he got hurt on that play too.
He did. Look at him. He's grabbing his ankle. He's still not back yet.
Yeah, he played though through the rest of the ball game, I think, until he had to come out. And I was watching him walk out of the gym that night, and I thought they were going to have to call an ambulance for him because he was walking so slow out of there. But so you beat Central. You've beaten them twice, and this game, I really thought, well, we're going to move on to the next game. Let's talk about this one. This is the Cleveland game. This played last Saturday. This is before the Samurai got his little scarf on his head. But, early on in the ball game, talk about this game.
We knew going into it that Cleveland was a lot better team than what people were cutting them out for, just because they've had so many COVID issues and all that. And so we knew we were going to have to play. They're athletic and they're well coached. And, they've got some shooters, which is always hard to guard. Yeah,
they beat you twice last year. They graduated 2 really good guards. I think one's playing at Belmont, the other's playing, where is it?
I'm not sure where he went.
But It's a good team. Their point guard did return. You had an advantage on the inside there in Stafford. I'll let you talk to that. I mean, Jonathan had a really good game inside. Talk about their inside play. A little bit different from last year.
Cleveland's?
Cleveland.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to muscle it inside, and I think that we got a little bit of foul trouble in the first half, and so we had to play through that. But it was definitely a tough game. Jeremy clutched it out for us, but it was a fun game to play, even though it was tough.
They beat you twice, as I said. They were 33-1 a year ago. They were one of the teams that nice drive there by Kel.
Yeah.
And you got the call there. You didn't always get a lot of calls in that game, but they were another team like you, and there's Stafford with a bucket right there that didn't get to go to the state tournament, and they had a legitimate shot. Not that you didn't.
Yeah.
At 33-1, having beaten you twice. I mean, they had a legitimate shot. So must have been just major disappointment for you 8 teams.
Yeah. It's just, it was just, that's the best word I could think of, too, is just disappointing, just to work that hard all year. And, I mean, we put in a lot of time, and I know they did, too. It just kind of stinks that we didn't get to finish it out.
Yeah.
What's it like playing in front of so few crowd? I mean, people in the crowd there. Last year, their student section was packed. I don't know if you remember that.
It's definitely a lot harder, I would say, just because you don't get as much adrenaline flowing and you don't get as hyped up because it's just so quiet and you do something good and it's just kind of dead in the gym. So
here comes the final play here. I'll let you talk through this one. This is you coming down, getting the bucket. Did you charge right there, or was that a block? What would that have been?
I think the ref did a good job with the no call because I think he was falling a little early, and the angle that I was coming at him was not straight on. I clipped his shoulder, which is kind of hard to tell in the videos, but I clipped his shoulder, so I didn't really make as much contact as he sold it out to be. So, I mean, I think the ref did a good job, especially in that type of game, just for the no call.
Yeah, I agree, honestly, especially last, I think it was .4 on the clock when they got the ball to bring it in. They don't need to be making calls right there. But talk about that play. I noticed on that play, Stafford just sprinted from your side of the floor that you were coming in to the other side. You kind of sealed off that whole side. Was that a play you all worked on, or is that something you all just came up with that night?
No, we went over to the huddle, and Coach Green, he was he said, "Kel, I want you to take it out." And he was like, "Jeremy, start at half court," and then he had Stewart and Stafford on the same side as me, and then Milloway on the other side. And he told me to go get the ball, and then as soon as we got it in, he was just going to clear out the right side because I'm right-handed. So Stafford and Jonathan just took off to the other side of the court to kind of pull their man away from me and maybe catch him out of help side. And then that just kind of freed up an angle for me to get to the rim.
This is the Halls game played last night. This is a team you put 100 on December the 1st, a long time ago. And they wanted to run with you, which I thought, and I talked about this on the game last night. It just seems like that's not the way to go against you guys.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know what the best way to defend you guys or play offense. I would think it would be a more half court. Now, Stafford, you saw that. How would you rate that?
Oh no, I've seen Jeremy do some dunks that he hasn't done in games, so I would just give that a 5 or a 6 overall.
Unfortunately, our camera guy didn't get Milloway's dunk, which was his best dunk of his career.
Definitely was.
I mean, and I was so disappointed. In fact, last night I went to get the tape immediately to look for that because he actually didn't pull the rim down. Normally he pulls the rim down and kind of drops it in, but he was at full tilt. Hit it, and it wasn't on there. So, Jonathan, if you're watching, I apologize. We didn't get it.
Look at it too, man.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Let's talk about the chemistry of this team. You've got a lot of different people playing right now on a lot of roles. I mean, the whole team can play from top to bottom. Talk about the chemistry of this team.
That's definitely something that we think works in our advantage in almost every game we play, is just our depth. Some people have 5, 6 good guys. I mean, we've got 7 or 8 people that can score and defend and take care of the ball. So, I mean, that helps us, especially in games that are played at our pace where we're going so fast. And Coach Green, he always tells us that we should never be able to play a full game and not come out because we should be so tired. So, I mean, it's just good to have subs like that. And like on the chemistry side of it, off the court, I mean, it's just, I mean, the guys are my brothers, so I would definitely say it's a lot better than last year, just because last year we were kind of building it still, and now, I mean, I don't know if we get much closer than what we are. So,
Stafford, let's go to you here. I know I asked Samaj when she was, if she grew up in Oak Ridge, and she said yes. And I know you came from the enemy, but where did you grow up? Did you grow up in Knoxville?
I grew up in Carnes.
Did you? Your whole life you lived in Carnes?
My whole life I lived in Carnes. Went to pre-K through, 10th grade. So, yeah, that's where I was. And then I decided to come to Oak Ridge, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made as far as basketball. So.
Well, that's funny. I'm going to ask you a question about that a little bit later on in these questions, too. So get ready for those. But,
yes, sir.
So he was just talking, Jeremy was just talking about the chemistry on this team. And
yep.
I know when you came in last year, you were new. I mean, you didn't know anybody. You might have played AAU or you might have played against them. Mm-hmm. But how long did it take you to kind of be a part of the group? Because you were the outsider.
Maybe a month.
Really?
They definitely they let me in as soon. They were ready to help me get through plays and learn the offense. And I mean, it didn't take long at all. Everybody was really cool, and they just they were there to help me. And so, like he said, they're my brothers. And yeah, it didn't take long at all for us to all click.
I know this is kind of awkward. I've got a player. I want you to comment on a player here, which is, you're the same age, basically. You're seniors in high school. But I'm going to ask Stafford, you first. Your improvement, I mean, you're scoring a ton of points. You're right at the top as the leading scorer on the team. And your role has changed a little bit. You started last night. You've had a couple games where you haven't started. But for the most part, you've played a lot of minutes.
Yes, sir.
Why are you a better player this year as compared to last year?
Well, because I put in the work compared to last year. I definitely put in a lot more work this summer. And we got a long summer because of COVID, so I used that to my advantage, and I put in a lot of hours in the gym. And then also I just took it more serious this year. I knew that this was my last year, and I want to play college basketball, and so I knew that I need to come out and make a name for myself this year. And so I think I'm not done yet, but I think I'm on the right path to making that happen.
Jeremy, you practice with him, play with him. Where have you seen the most improvement with him?
Just kind of like his aggressiveness and how he finds his shot. Stafford's just good at getting to where he knows he can make a shot from, and just finding those kind of hot spots. And just in practice, I mean, like he said, as soon as he came, we kind of took him in. And me and Stafford were always matched up against each other, so we would just go at each other. And I think that helped him and me for sure get a lot better. It's just the competitiveness that we had towards each other on the floor, and then walking off the court and just being able to talk about it and kind of coach each other.
Okay.
So.
All right, Stafford. I think were you out by yourself last year? I can't remember. You were with a couple other people on the show.
It was me and Stuart. It was me and Stuart up here.
Yes, that's what I thought. I thought it was. I was going to do that this week, but I thought I'm going to give you your own.
I appreciate it.
And here I am.
Yeah. Starting with the easy one. Where is your go-to restaurant?
Oh, go-to restaurant?
Yes.
I would say Zaxby's.
Zaxby's?
Yeah. But if more of a sit-down restaurant,
yeah,
I would say this place in Carnes called Corner 16.
He's always going back to Carnes.
Yeah.
Can't get rid of those Carnes foods.
Yeah, this place is,
Where do you see yourself in 20 years?
20 years.
Gee.
Golly, I'll be, 39? 38?
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. Hopefully with a good job and family, just enjoying life.
Who on this team you think would survive a zombie apocalypse, and what would be your chances of survival?
Well, what I would do is I'd get a group together. So my group would be Jeremy, Nick.
He's getting the muscle.
Yeah, I definitely Jeremy, Nick. I do Milway, and Stewart.
Well, you need somebody slow so they get eaten first.
No, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna put somebody. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, that's what I'd have.
He's hurt.
Yes, I think we'll be all right.
When Coach Green yelled at you the first time, were you ready to go back to Carnes?
No, no, sir. I was up for the challenge.
Was it kind of shocking the difference? I know Coach Henson is a different. His style's a little bit different. But the contrast the two styles between the two coaches there.
Well, Coach Green's definitely more on me, and he'll tell you, when I was at Carnes, like Coach Green will stop a play just for me, and tell me what I did wrong and what I need to fix. And when I was at Carnes, it's not like you would stop practice just to do that. So, but I think it's all because Coach Green definitely cares about me and he tells me that. But yeah, Coach Green definitely jumps on me much harder than when I was at Carnes. So I would say that's the biggest difference between the coaches.
What's an interesting fact about you that nobody might know about you?
Interesting fact. I like to play golf.
Okay, that's something. Did you know that?
I had no
Yes,
clue.
you did. He knew that.
did not.
Yes, he did.
Do you play golf?
No, I do not play golf.
What do
Maybe
you
Stafford will teach me.
what do you consider to be the perfect vacation?
Probably somewhere tropical like the Bahamas. I'd probably bring some friends along like Jeremy and just chill. Just have a week off and just chill. Probably not touch a basketball too much and just, just enjoy.
Who's the hardest person to guard in practice?
In practice,
Yeah.
Kel.
Kel?
Kel's very shifty, and so it's hard to guard him, especially now because he's starting to shoot it more.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to, usually I would guard him as a driver, but now that he's shooting it more, it's hard to guard him.
Jeremy, who's the hardest person?
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. Probably Kel. But, I mean, Millway's tough too, just because he's so big.
Millway's
It's kind of
tough,
hard to, move him. But, yeah, probably Kel. I mean, he's so shifty, and he can kind of score from all three ranges, so definitely makes him hard to guard.
Stafford, does anything scare you?
No, sir. No, sir.
Nothing at all? Okay. If basketball wasn't your sport of choice, what would you be playing?
Probably be a quarterback.
Golf.
I'd probably be playing football.
Not on the pro golf tour?
Nah, I don't do it like that. I just do it as like more of a hobby. I'd probably be
He
playing
goes to
football.
play in the golf carts.
Jeremy, I know you play baseball. What would be your sport of choice if you baseball?
I don't know, yeah, either baseball or basketball. I mean, not basketball, football.
Yeah.
Just because I've always wanted to try football, but then basketball's too important to me to lose, so I never played it.
Stafford, how many pairs of shoes do you think Coach Green goes through in a season, stomping his feet on the floor? How many do you think he goes through?
Oh man, definitely a couple pairs. Yeah, I'd say about 3 or 4 pairs.
Does that get your attention? I mean, when you
Yeah, it definitely gets my.
you
the
can hear it
clapping
all over
gets-
the gym, especially now when there's nobody in the gym. You can hear it all over. Was that something totally shocking to you when you came over from Carnes?
Yeah, he's a very loud coach. He's gonna coach you on the floor, and he doesn't try to embarrass you in the game, but he's gonna yell at you and get in you. So, but it only makes you play better. So, yeah, but I say he goes through a couple pairs of shoes for sure.
What's your favorite subject in school?
I would say English. I like reading a lot.
Okay. Who do you like playing most besides Carnes? I know you've had your best ball games, honestly, against Carnes, and that must be some. Well, I'll ask you about that. Is it just that extra motivation? You know those guys, or?
Yeah, it's partially because I know the guys and I still talk to a lot of the players, and so I like to go out there and show them. But definitely this year, like the game we played last time, I definitely wanted to show how much improvement I've done during the off season. Mm-hmm. I wanted to show that towards that team, so I try to. I'm gonna try and start doing that every game. So try and put that little extra.
Is there another team, like maybe the Kingston Yellow Jackets? Did you like playing them actually? Who's your favorite team to play against besides Carnes?
I would say I like Clinton. I like playing at Clinton. I like when we played at Clinton last year. I like playing Clinton.
Do you talk trash on the court?
No.
Does he talk trash on the court?
I don't know who's watching this, so I'm going to say no. But
I have my moments.
I mean, it's not like he's out there trying to cause problems, but like if somebody says something to him, he's going to say something back. Like, he's just not going to let it slide. So.
Okay, you, Jeremy, and Jonathan Milloway, you're the 3 guys that dunk. Will we ever see anybody else on this team throw one down?
Yes.
Oh, for sure. We have so many people dunking now.
And it's really getting close. Like, J-Mo had a good practice today where he got about 3 or 4 dunks in practice.
Yeah, Jameson did.
If Jonathan Stewart can just pull one off, I think one day he's going to have it where he can just get it in. He's definitely tried it. Who else, Jeremy?
I don't know. Oh, Lucas can dunk now.
Lucas
can like actually dunk.
Yeah, Lucas is
Like,
throwing down
consistently.
tomahawks.
Yeah.
So I plan on seeing him, but definitely, yeah. So we have some players.
Caden was getting there too. Jameson's
Yep, he
brother
was.
before he
Nick
got
was
hurt.
getting
He
there.
up there. Yeah, and even Nick was
Nick
kind
was
of
getting
close.
there.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
What part of your game do you think you need to work on the most?
I would say my three, my shooting game.
You have more than him.
Well, I think I can still work on it. I'm a drive first guy, but I feel like I can improve all parts of my game. But I would definitely say just the shooting aspect.
You say you read books. What kind of books do you read?
I was reading To Kill a Mockingbird. I finished that. I'm doing the Narnical Chronicles of Narnia. I don't know why he's laughing. I was doing the
Because the
Chronicles.
first book he named was a book we have to read for school.
No, we didn't read it. We read it last year though. I had to read it again because I didn't read it for real last year.
Keep going.
That's it.
Explain your unique name. Stafford's kind of a classy name.
Yeah.
I mean, explain that. Is that a family name or?
Yeah, it came from my uncle on my dad's side, and then so yeah, that's where Stafford came from, and then my middle name came from one of my cousins that passed away, but he was older, and so that's where I'm not saying my middle name though, because nobody knows it on the team.
his middle
I've
name?
never heard it.
Nobody knows it.
Like he won't tell anybody.
It's not a bad name.
I was kind of excited that he started talking
Yeah.
about it.
You know, you brought it up. I mean, you can't do that to millions who might be
Now's
watching
the
the
time,
show right
yeah.
now. You know,
Nicholas.
well, that's not so bad.
Nah, it's a regular middle name.
Yeah.
Bro.
What-
It's just, you wouldn't guess it.
No, you wouldn't.
Nah, you wouldn't guess
Well,
it.
Jeremy, do you have any questions for Stafford over there?
Dang, I should have been thinking of this before.
Before the show, he actually said he had millions of questions for you.
I know.
Just shoot me.
See, that one's about favorites. I can't ask that one. I don't want to put him on the spot.
Favorite
I mean,
one.
that's what this whole show's about, putting on the spot. I put him on the spot.
Come on, coach.
I put you on the spot before.
Oh yeah, he did ask me. Okay, who's your favorite person to have on the court with you? Of our
Oh,
whole
you,
team.
for sure. Jeremy hypes me up.
Okay, good answer.
Yeah, Jeremy hypes me up.
Good answer.
How do you hype him up?
Every
I mean,
every
yeah,
time I
just-
make a good play, he hypes me up and it gets me hot.
Coach Green's good at letting us know when we mess up, so I try to let everybody know
Yeah.
when they do good.
Well, he does that too, I'm sure.
Yeah, he does. He does. I just do it on the court because he usually does it off the court.
Well, one thing that I think most of the players, and you've told me this before over the last several years, that he's a guy that that he's yelling at you because he wants you to be better. It isn't because he doesn't like you or anything.
Yeah,
And
for
how
sure.
does he show that? I mean,
Well, he always tells me, like, if I have a tough practice or a hard practice where he gets on me a lot, he'll probably shoot me a text or call me after practice and just let me know, keep my head up, and he wouldn't jump on me if he didn't love me and stuff like that. So he definitely lets us know that he cares. And so that's what makes you don't get mad when he jumps on you. You just say, okay, now let me respond. So that's what we try to do, just respond.
so we've got Jeremy and Jonathan, the M&M boys. Okay, so that's what we call them.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done several interviews. In fact, I've tried to do separate interviews with maybe Jeremy, and Jonathan always shows up. I mean, that's typically. In fact, I was actually expecting both of them to be here tonight. But, do you feel left out that you're not?
No, I don't feel like that. I feel like me and him need one, though. I feel like we built that bond and we need it.
Do y'all have any suggestions for names?
I don't like the one Stafford said. It was 1, 2, 3. I don't like that one. You're gonna.
It sounded good in my head.
Well, who would be one and who would be? I mean, that would be.
I'd be one.
Well, his number's
Two,
1.
three.
My number's 23, so we just lined them up.
Yeah, so Jonathan just gets left out.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah.
Okay. You got Anderson County coming up on Friday, Tuesday, road trip to Pal. In fact, you got back-to-back. Actually, next 2 weeks, I think all the games are on the road. Honestly, I think that's the way it is. Like two there are district ball games, I know. Season's over halfway done. What's going to happen the rest of the way for you guys?
I think we just have to keep getting better and better every day. Show up with the mindset to get better to practice and games, and just not really don't focus on the end result. Just take it day by day right now. Sure.
One thing that Coach Taylor said to me a little while ago, she said that the pandemic kind of took away the chemistry a little bit because you didn't get to go on, Christmas trips. I mean, you all played at Alcoa, but it wasn't. You just drove over to Alcoa 3 nights straight. But you say the chemistry is really good. Do you think that is one of the main factors that could get you back to the state tournament?
Yeah, for sure. I'll let Stafford take it, but
Nah, definitely. Yeah, we have great team chemistry, and we all have each other's backs, and we're all ready to help each other. So I definitely think that's going to help, and that's helped us this far, and so I definitely think it'll push us towards a state tournament.
Let's think about the Anderson County game and the Powell's games that you played previous. What do they bring to the table, both those teams?
Anderson County, they always just kind of put up a fight. Like halftime is usually like when we kind of start to do our thing. But like if you look back at the games with the Anderson County, it's always close at halftime. So they just like fight, and they're really good against our press, which not many teams are, but they're not bad at breaking it. So that's definitely something they have. And then Powell is just, they have some athletes and they can kind of shoot it. And then their mid-range game is really good. They hit a bunch of pull-up jump shots against us, so I think that's kind of what they bring towards us.
Stafford, do you like playing those gyms, Anderson County and Powell? Powell's kind of a close.
Yeah, Powell's fun.
Yeah, I like Powell.
Yeah, Powell's.
Especially last year, it was a packed game.
It was a
Powell.
TV game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a packed game, so that was a fun game.
Do you think your senior years I don't know, there's a lot of things that you all have had to endure at school and just in your social lives, but is it kind of taken away from your senior years that you don't have the huge crowds, your guys you go to, girls you go to school with, you can't come to watch the games? How's that been for you all? Let's let Stafford start with it.
It's been tough. That's why we try to, like, when we're on the bench, and other players are in, or we just try to hype each other up all the time, create a kind of a good atmosphere. But it's definitely been tough, and it was weird to get used to, because you might make a big play or a dunk, and you don't really hear anything, so it's like, oh. But we try to hype each other up.
Yeah, kind of on the same thing Stafford said. We just that's another place where I think our chemistry really helps us, is that we just kind of like being out there. It's like 5 on everybody in the gym, just because like you can hear every individual parent and what they're saying, and like I don't know, it's just like whenever you play with a packed crowd, like the student section and your fans have your back, but right now it's just quiet, so we make sure we have each other's backs and kind of just cheer each other on since there's not people there to do it.
Guys, I appreciate your time. They're telling me in the back we're done. Thanks for coming, and good
Thank
luck
you.
the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That is Stafford Shanklin, Jeremy Miller. We appreciate you watching Off the Glass. We appreciate Dylan in the back. Oak Ridge takes on Anderson County. And Anderson County this coming Friday. You can listen on the radio, watch the YouTube stream, or you can't come, but you can do all of that. So until next week, this is David Clary saying so long, everybody.
Fox Insurance Group is a local agency. We've got a great staff. We're knowledgeable. The most rewarding thing about working in insurance is taking care of customers. When they come in, a lot of times they don't know what coverages they need. They're relying on us to give them the right coverage that's going to fit their needs, but also at a competitive price. Anybody can go to any agent, or they can call any 1-800 number. But getting that right agent that's going to take care of them and be there in time of need, and that's what we're here to do.
Train. Extreme conditions testing. It's hard to stop a train.